Nsync, sometimes stylized as Nsync or Nsync, was an American boy band formed in Orlando, Florida in 1995 and launched in Germany by BMG Areola Munich. Nsync consisted of Justin Timberlake, J.C. Chasez, Chris Kirkpatrick, Joey Fatone, and Lance Bass. After heavily publicized legal battles with their former manager Lou Pearlman and former record label Bertelsmann Music Group, the group's second album, No Strings Attached, sold over 1 million copies in one day and 2.42 million copies in 1 week, which was a record for over 15 years. Among the group's singles, and Quat, Bye Bye, Bye and Quat, This I Promise You and Quat, Girlfriend and Quat, It's Gonna Be Me and Quat, reached the top 10 in several international charts, with the latter being a US Billboard Hot 100 number 1. In addition to a host of Grammy Award nominations, Nsync has performed at the World Series, the Super Bowl and the Olympic Games, and sang or recorded with Elton John, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Phil Collins, Celine Dion, Aerosmith, Nelly, Left Eye, Mary J. Blige, country music supergroup Alabama, and Gloria Estefan. Although Nsync announced the start of a and Quat temporary hiatus and Quat in early 2002, the band has not recorded new material since then. In 2007, Lance Bass confirmed that the group had and Quat definitely broken up and Quat. The band completed 5 nationwide concert tours and has sold over 70 million records, becoming the 5th best-selling boy band in history. Rolling Stone recognized their instant success as one of the top 25 teen idol breakout moments of all time. Justin Timberlake went on to become one of the world's best-selling music artists, with more than 32 million albums and 56 million singles sold throughout his solo career. Chris Kirkpatrick, who had missed the cut for the Backstreet Boys, met with Lou Pearlman in 1995 to talk about forming a second group. Pearlman said that he would finance the group if Kirkpatrick would find other young male singers. This prompted Kirkpatrick to call Joey Fatone, a friend he had met while working at Universal Studios. Then, Fatone and Kirkpatrick approached Lou Pearlman for more suggestions. Pearlman looked through some tapes they had, and one of Justin Timberlake from the Mickey Mouse Club caught his eye. Timberlake soon joined the group, and recommended his friend J.C. Chasez, who also was a cast member on Disney Channel's Mickey Mouse Club. Soon, they decided to even out their sound by recruiting Jason Galasso as their bass singer. Nsync received its name after Justin Timberlake's mother commented on how and Quat, Nsync and Quat, the group's singing voices were. The group's name is also a play on the last letter of each of the initial members' names: Justin, Chris, Joey, Jason, and JC. After several weeks of rehearsals, the group set up a showcase and began planning to officially sign with Pearlman's transcontinental label. However, at the last minute, Galasso dropped out. He was not fond of the group's musical direction, claiming that being a teen idol was never a goal of his. In need of a bass, the group auditioned several people without success. Timberlake soon called his vocal coach, who suggested a 16-year-old from Mississippi named Lance Bass. Bass flew to Orlando to audition and was immediately accepted into the group. He was nicknamed and Quat, Lanston and Quat, so they could keep the name Nsync. From there, Pearlman set the 5 boys up in a house in Orlando, Florida, where they rehearsed constantly, learning dance routines and vocal parts, and working on promotion for their first public performance at Pleasure Island on October 22, 1995. Perlman hired Johnny Wright, manager of the Backstreet Boys, to manage the group. Nsync sent him a 2-song demo tape including "Unquote, I'll Be Back for More," Unquote, and "Unquote, We Can Work It Out," Unquote, which impressed him. The group performed for him and a group of BMG executives. Although the record company had some concerns with the band's name and bass's dancing abilities, they agreed to sign the group to BMG Areola Munich with Wright as their manager. After being signed to BMG Areola Munich, the group was sent to Sweden to begin working on their debut album with the help of producers such as Dennis Pop, Max Martin and Andreas Carlsson. The album's official lead single, "Unquote, I Want You Back," Unquote, was released in Germany on October 7, 1996, and entered the top 10 in Germany on November 18, 1996. With a record deal finally secured, the boys began touring first in German-speaking countries and later in other European territories. Their self-titled debut album was initially released by BMG Areola Munich on May 26, 1997, in Germany, and peaked at number 1 in the second week after its release. The group soon became an overnight success throughout much of Europe. The album also charted successfully in both Switzerland and Austria, eventually selling 820,000 units in GSA, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, region, and Eastern Europe. The group released its second and the third singles, "Unquote, Tearin' Up My Heart," Unquote, and "Unquote, Here We Go," Unquote, both of which managed to reach the top 10 in numerous countries in Europe. Nsync captured the attention of Vincent DiGiorgio, an A&R representative for RCA Records. After seeing the group perform in Budapest, he eventually signed them to RCA. In 1998, the American label had the group record some new tracks to adjust their album for the US market. The group's third album, Celebrity, released on July 24, 2001, produced 3 singles: "Unquote, Pop," Unquote, number 19 US, "Unquote, Gone," Unquote, number 11 US, and "Unquote, Girlfriend," Unquote, number 5 US. The album featured much more creative involvement from the group, especially Chasez and Timberlake, who wrote and produced several of the tracks. The album sold 1,879,955 copies in its first week, making it the second fastest-selling album in SoundScan history at the time, only behind the group's previous album No Strings Attached. To promote the Celebrity album, the group embarked on a 4-month stadium tour entitled the Pop Odyssey Tour. The tour earned over $90 million, becoming one of the biggest tours of 2001. In 2002, the band promoted their album further by embarking on the Celebrity Tour, which earned nearly $30 million. Following the tour, the group went on a hiatus. While it was initially meant to be temporary, the group never recorded music or toured together again. On July 29, 2014, a compilation of Nsync's hits and unreleased songs titled The Essential The Nsync was released. Bass said of the album on his radio show, Dirty Pop, Unquote, "There's a lot of these songs I don't think I've ever heard. I remember recording them, but I've never heard them before, so I'm interested in just hearing them," Unquote. Chasez tweeted about the album's release, stating, Unquote, "I had the strangest dream last night that some old friends and I had a top 10 record on iTunes. Crazy, right? Unquote." Kirkpatrick said of the album, Unquote, "It's great to release some of the songs that had never made a record before. I'm glad our longtime fans get some new music, and quote. Fatone also said, and quote, pretty interesting this album comes out, which I really had no idea, and it's in the top of Amazon and iTunes. We owe it to our fans. Thank you, end quote. Fatone and Kirkpatrick starred in Dead 7, a Western zombie film written by Backstreet Boys' Nick Carter. The film premiered on April 1, 2016 on the Sci-Fi Channel. Nsync is scheduled to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in April 2018. Entertainment Weekly ranked Nsync as the best boy band of the period late 90s and 2000s. Editor Madeleine Boardman stated, and quote, the group has a spot in pop history more than a decade late, and quote. Washington Post stated it was one of the two boy bands and quote, that dominated the late 90s and early and quote. According to Billboard, No Strings Attached was the top album of the 2000s decade, with The Independent listing it among the albums and quote, that marked the decade, and quote. Billboard also ranked the group at number 4 on their list of the biggest boy bands from the period 1987 to 2012, according to chart performance, with the staff writing, and quote, despite having one of the most short-lived boy band careers, Nsync was arguably the most famous, and quote. Several acts have cited the group as an influence, including Kelsey Ballerini, Selena Gomez, Meghan Trainor, Why Don't We and Hayley Williams.